your second year with the Wood Brothers, second full year. Can you tell me just how much that relationship has improved? Obviously, you guys were clicking in the second half of last season, and I would assume you think you can just pick it up and continue going. But just tell me how much that relationship in the building between everybody has improved.
Yeah, a lot. Honestly, that's what makes me most excited about this season, is because last first part of last year we're shooting new group working together, trying to figure each other out, and then we have no practice all year long. So the things we would have normally learned about each other in practice and what we need and our communication, what I need in the feel of the car, and all these things were that rug was swept out from underneath us. So we really had to go to work and learn these things in the race and adapt. And then we did. That's where that second half, that last third, whatever you want to call it, of the season, we really clicked, where we were not only were we making our good days, good and executing them well and competing for wins and running up front consistently in the last bit of the season. And that's during playoff time too. And I mean, it's the toughest of all times. And that was when we were our best. So not only were we, doing that, but we were making our bad days into good days too. We would take, we started off the last Martinsville, and we were just way out to lunch. We missed it. We tried a few things setup wise. It didn't work. And we had to make the pit crew work super hard, tons of adjustments. And then we work all day and we sneak a top 10 out of it. And that's, another example of what really shows our strength as a team. So we have all that momentum going into this year.
How much more confidence do you have going into this year?
Honestly, a lot. I'm very like honest with how we are, how we're performing, how I'm doing, how the team's doing. And the beginning to middle of last year, I didn't feel like we were quite ready to win yet. When it was, we were getting there, and I knew we were getting there. We're getting better every week. We're learning. Oh man, okay, I need this. I wish we could have gone back and known this. And so we kept building that notebook and our communication. But then that last bit of the season, it was like it clicked, and it was like, all right, now we are a team that is ready to win, and we are competing on all types of different racetracks too. It's not like we just had these certain places we were good at. So all of that stuff was coming together. So that's why I have so much more confidence going into this year.
How badly do you want to get the Wood Brothers number 100?
Oh, that's hard to even answer, because I want it so bad. Not only for myself, too. It's so cool when you drive for the Wood Brothers and that family. You don't just drive for them. You don't just become their friends. You become their part of their family forever, for life. And so it makes me just so invested in their team and their history and the success, not only because I'm a fan, but because being part of their family now, and you drive that 21, that I want it so bad, not only for myself, but for them, and to get that 100th win for the Wood Brothers, and to know how special it would be for me being my first win, and for them being the 100th win, just how special it'd be. It makes you want it extra bad, on top of just my life goal of winning in the Cup Series.
Are you going to be a little disappointed if you don't get it this year for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I would be very disappointed, especially knowing now, that we are a team that's capable of winning on any given week. That's so that's where I feel so good about it. So, you all you can ask for is to I try not to chase certain things too much. All I can ask for is knowing that we go out there and execute and do the best job that we can do as a team, make the most of our race car. I really get mad if I leave the racetrack knowing like, we could have done this better, stuff that was in our control. So all you can do is just keep putting yourself in that position, like we were doing at the end of last year. Keep putting yourself in contention, in a position to have a shot at winning these things. And then there's certain things that'll have to happen out of your control. As long as I do everything the best I can, my team does, we knock out good pit stops, we put our race together, put ourselves in position, and then hopefully the stars align. If we keep on doing that, and our time will definitely come.
I know road courses weren't the strength, but like you say, that notebook is getting filled up. A lot of road courses this year. What do you think about your program on the road courses this year?
Yeah, I'm that's what I'm anxious to see is because we were really getting strong at a lot of different places last year. We could go to a mile and a half, a 1 mile track, a short track, a super speedway, and be fast at any of them, which was awesome, super encouraging. I felt like the last piece of the puzzle was getting the road course program just a little better. It was just a little off. It wasn't where it needed to be to compete for wins and run up front. So, but obviously we have some super good people on our team and behind me. So it's they have been very hard at work along with myself and talking and going to the simulator and discussing how we can be better, what to do. So there will be no lack of effort of that being kind of the last piece of the puzzle to really tying in where we're good at a very diverse range of racetracks.
We're interested in Road America, obviously being in Wisconsin here. Do you feel like that track is deserving of a cup race? Are you excited to come here and race in Wisconsin?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've been saying for years that I wanted the Cup Series to go to Road America. I was always jealous the Xfinity guys getting to go there. It's one of my favorite road courses because it's a perfect place. It's super technical, very racy place. A lot of great passing zones. Puts on a good show. The fans are awesome. So everything aligns to where. Shoot, I've been wanting to go there for years. So when I finally saw it I heard the rumblings of it, and they were when we were hearing about the schedule for this year, and I was praying and hoping that it was going to be on the schedule. And sure enough, excited that we get to go out there and obviously be kind of a home turf for Menards and our vendor partners, and so that's an important race to us.
Key to getting around Road America, what would you say?
Um, Man, I feel like minimizing mistakes there is a big deal because it's really easy because the track is super slick. It has become incredibly worn out over the years, which is fun. It makes it have more character, more fun to race. Tire strategy, things like that become so big. But I would say minimizing mistakes because actually I raced there in 2019 in an Xfinity car for Joe Gibbs Racing, and I was so mad at myself after that race because I felt like I did a horrible job. I mean, we were leading most of the race and run up front at a fast car, but we had a bad pit stop, and and then we went kind of back in the mess, and I lost my patience a bit. And I flat spotted a tire. I went off the track once, and it's once you start doing that, it's so easy to make mistakes there. And I still felt like I could have had a shot to win and came back through the field if I would have been more patient and diligent, or at least had a shot at it. So minimizing mistakes is going to be a big deal because it's a very technical road course and it's worn out.
How about with COVID? You got a feel for it last year. Is it going to be very different this year in terms of just race week and your schedule, or is it kind of similar to what we saw last year?
I think it's going to be pretty similar to what we saw last year, and we've adapted pretty well to it. It's there were as much of a pain in the butt as it is, and I wish life would be kind of back to whatever normal is. We the positives out of it were that we learned a lot as a sport of what we can adapt to. We learned that we don't need these long, drawn out weekends. We don't need all this practice time and all these wasted sets of tires and hotels and expenses on the team and all these things. So we adapted and learned all that really quick, which was nice instead of doing it slowly over time. So that was positives on the team. And then as far as our communication and things, we just learned to adapt and do some things virtually, or do a lot of my prep stuff at home or going to my spotter Doug's house because there's some things you have to do in person. Like that, like my prep work for the Daytona 500. I'll go to his house, and that's something that we need to do in person. But yeah, I feel like we've still had excellent communication, which is probably the most important thing.
In a perfect world, would you like to see a shorter or condensed race weekend then?
I think how the schedule is going to be this year is actually fine. Just the races at the new tracks, having some practice on Saturday, like just a quick practice and qualify. I think that's all we need. Honestly, that's perfect. And then the places we've been to, Showing up and racing is fine. I mean, it would probably be all right if some of them we had a quick 50-minute practice or something to, just make sure your car's all right. But either way is fine. Now that we have the seat time and experience last year of doing that, I don't think it's too big of a deal. So none of that. We've adapted to so much. None of that really scares me now.
I could see maybe giving the rookies a little bit more practice time, but maybe have them come a day early and then everybody else maybe come, Friday or something and condense the race week. I don't know. Wanted to ask
I
you.
don't want them having an advantage.
Oh, come on! When you were a rookie, I'm sure you appreciated every second, every chance you got out there. But,
oh yeah, for sure. No, that seat time is big for sure, and that time to dial in your car with your team and all.
Yeah. Before I let you go, you had that test with the Mach E, and from everything I've read, it was just a jaw-dropping experience. Can you tell me about what it was like to get behind the wheel there?
Yeah, yeah, it's a 1,400 horsepower and God knows how much torque in that thing. So in the Mach-E race car, so that thing was unbelievable to drive, to have that much instant power. It was kind of cool. So you'd get in a really low center of gravity because all that weight's really down low with the electric, car type stuff. So you come off the corner, get that thing pointed, smash the gas, and basically just hang on for dear life because it'd be so much torque, and you just need to make sure you're pointed in the right direction. So it was cool and something that really gets your attention just because you smash the gas and it's so instant. It's weird. I couldn't even explain it to somebody, unless they drove it. It's like driving a big full size RC car or something. It was really weird, but it was super cool. And that technology is unbelievable. I mean, obviously us enthusiasts love the sound of your loud internal combustion engines. But that gave me a whole another appreciation for that technology and that side of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, even though I'm an old school guy, this blew my mind. And I would drive the heck out of this thing for hours if they would let me. And then I drove the street car too, even around the track. And it was equally impressive as far as being a street car, the instant power and how great of a commuter it would be.